Welcome to the After Show for episode 77 of This Week in K-Pop. This is your first time tuning in. This is not the main episode. This is the resting bitch face of the main episode, where we talk about all the leftover songs that we didn't have time to mention, or just random topics of interest.
This is the Jesse's face.
This is the scowl. This is the dirty scowl that the main episode gives you. I don't know. The analogy's not great. The analogy's not great.
You're tired, big guy.
Yeah. But anyways, I think for this after show, I think on the menu, we're definitely going to talk about some Weekly Idol stuff.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about Unpretty Rapstar 2.
Yep.
And some of the songs that they've released. And we're going to kind of premiere a new, I don't know if it's going to be a permanent thing, but a new section. We call it the Flashback.
Oh, yeah.
Call it the something. I mean, if you guys have a better name for it, you can. But we're going to look at the songs that we talked about 6 months ago and talk about whether or not we still listen to them or if we've changed our minds on anything. Shouldn't be too long of a thing, but we're going to call it the Flash Bizzle.
Exactly. 10 episodes ago.
Yeah. But we're going to start with Weekly Idol because Weekly Idol is a show that's... It's been on for a while in Korea, and it's a relatively famous show. A lot of people do watch it.
Yeah.
But I had never really watched it. And
I watch it all the time.
Had never cared to really watch it because, as you know, and as some of our longtime listeners know, that I try and protect my virgin ears from being biased. So I try not to watch things that idols are on because sometimes I'm afraid. If I really like them or if I really like the person,
you'll bias
my taste. Like the next time I hear their song, I'm going to give them an unfair advantage. But I kind of...
but that's kind of K-pop, though, in a way.
That's kind of K-pop, but, that's also... I don't know why I'm so worried about that, because that's also not really me in general.
That's more me.
Maybe. I mean, that's more normal people, right? But I've always been I can love Wonder Girls all to the live long day, or I can have wet dreams about Wonder Girls, but if they make a not great song, I'm still gonna be like, it's not a great song, So I was like, fuck it. So I decided to watch Weekly Idol, which it's hosted by two comedians, what's his name, Hyungdong and Defcon.
Yeah.
Hyungdong is a comedian, and Defcon is a rapper, but he's also kind of a
comedian joke
nowadays.
Rapper.
Yeah. But they invite idols, if you didn't know. It's called Weekly Idol every week.
Yeah.
And they kind of...
this white room, if you've never seen it before.
Yeah, it's just in a completely white room. And, it's a very basic concept, but the way they interview the idols and the way they work off the idols is just so unique.
It's very lighthearted. It's very lighthearted is the way I would describe it, because they basically come in and then they kind of dick around for a little bit, and then they play some games for food or prizes, and the hosts buy them food if they
succeed.
It's very kind of non-fussy. It doesn't seem like it's really highly produced. It's kind of just we feel like this.
And it really doesn't feel scripted, which is, I think, important.
Yeah.
And the hosts they can be really nice to you, and they can be really fucking mean. And it's hilarious.
But they're really good MCs, both of them.
They're really good. They play off each other really well. Yeah. Part of me wonders just, how much they cut out. Because it really feels like there's no cuts. It really feels like they go on for, 15 minutes, and it's just straight fire.
Yeah, but as with almost all Korean shows, everything is scripted.
Probably.
A lot of Korean shows, We Got Married, will say that they're not scripted, but they totally are. Every Korean show is totally scripted, 100%. I've talked to people who have been on shows, and they say it's 100% scripted. They provide you what to say, you memorize what you say, and you say it.
But, some shows I can really feel it. We Got Married is very clear.
Scripted.
I can really feel that it's scripted. But there are shows like Running Man, which is also scripted, and you can really tell the scripted parts in Running Man.
Yeah.
But sometimes it just seems like they're just talking to each other and they're just having fun. And Weekly Idol really feels like they're just talking to each other. It really captures
that kind of feeling, we're just kind of teasing you and whatever.
The bullet points are there. Obviously, the bullet points are scripted, and the talents that they'll show are probably scripted because they'll ask them for a random talent. They'll be like, oh, I can do this thing with this random thing. It's like, okay, that's totally scripted.
They've prepared like some random ass thing. Like, I feel like it's organized, but not necessarily scripted. I think that's a good way to describe it, right?
Yeah.
It's like they have an idea of what they want to do, what they want to talk about, but like all the details they didn't really hash out. I kind of feel like that's the...
And you know, if you've watched Running Man, which is the most popular, at least internationally, show, it's actually not that popular in Korea anymore.
No.
But, you know, it's like a mini Running Man in one room. It has what I really like about Running Man, you know, but to a very smaller degree.
Yeah. See, and the thing I really like about Weekly Idol is that the episodes are really short.
Okay, I actually try to look this up, but my Google foo is really bad. But like, sometimes the episodes are 30 minutes, and sometimes the episodes are an hour, and I don't know why.
Because sometimes they have like specials, so like it's really long, or sometimes like they meet them one week, and then like they come again the next week, and so they kind of lump them together in like a 2-part.
No, but like for example, like there are some times where they obviously split it into 2 separate episodes, like Girls' Generation.
Yeah.
But the Girls' Generation one was like 2 1-hour things, and then sometimes they'll have like EXID come in, and they're like, or A-Pink come in, and they'll be like, "This is the summer special. It's only 30 minutes." Then the next week it's also summer special, but it's 60 minutes, and I didn't really know
honestly, I actually don't know why.
Okay.
Yeah.
I only mention that because it's like sometimes you're like, this feels so short. Like why aren't they all 1 hour? Like, I don't understand why they aren't all 1 hour. But, you know, maybe that's the way they schedule it is really random as fuck. But, you know, if you really like, you know, I don't even watch it I didn't watch any guy groups.
Well, I'm gonna be honest as well. I didn't watch any guy groups as well. Right. I only watched the girl group ones.
Yeah, and probably if you're a girl, you might only watch the boy group ones. But I'm sure they're equally great. But like I didn't watch at first I was like, oh man, the Wonder Girls were on it. I really wanted to watch the Wonder Girls. And then after watching the Wonder Girls, I was like, man, okay, I'll check out A-Pink. And then after A-Pink, I was like, check out the Mamamoo, and I'll check out like Girls' Generation. I'll check out
and that's what happens.
For a minute, and I just started checking out all of these.
And then your day is gone.
And then I'm like, now I'm gonna check out groups I don't give no fucks about. I'm gonna check out Mamamoo, not Mamamoo.
Sonamu.
Not Sonamu.
4 Minute. 4 Minute is on that show a lot.
Holy fuck! What group am I thinking of? I mean, those are all people that have been on it.
Give me some hints.
April. It was April.
Who?
It's some new group. I don't know.
Who?
And to be fair, they're super new group. They're having they have the big summer, right? Where like all the big names, and they had like 3 or 4 Nugu groups, which for some reason they included Red Velvet in this Nugu special, but
that's rude.
But it's like Monster X, April, and then for some weird reason the next week after that CM Blue. I don't know. They called it the rookie special, but
it was weird.
Maybe just the Wikipedia called it a rookie special. I don't know.
Who knows?
The only bad thing about Weekly Idol is that nobody subs it consistently.
Yeah.
Like, depending on the idol group, their idol fandoms will sub it.
Yeah, because the issue with Weekly Idol is that like it's not that one group like will come out consistently on it. So like usually that group's like, you know, translator will do like a whole series or like a whole drama because their member is in it or the whole member's in it. Yeah. But Weekly Idol is kind of like one of those things that it doesn't have such a huge following like Infinity Challenge or Running Man. Right. So it doesn't really have like dedicated translators, I think.
Yeah. Or maybe it's just that there's no reason to, because like a crazy Mamamoo fan is going to translate it for Mamoos, and a crazy 4 Minute fan is going to translate it.
Comes out a lot in that show.
Or a crazy AOA fan will do it, you know, instantly. So there's no real reason to have a dedicated translator.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, for the Genius and Unpretty Rapstar, like those have dedicated
because those are
translators.
shows.
Those are shows, and there's also like nobody's fandom's crazy enough to like to do it and to do it fast like they do.
To do it so like up to speed.
Yeah. So the reason I bring that up is that the sub quality is very wide ranging.
Yeah.
Sometimes the subs are really great. Sometimes they're really bad.
Sometimes they're only Vietnamese for some reason.
Yeah. Vietnamese, they sub a lot of shit. And also sometimes they encode it really badly. So when it's on YouTube or it's on Dailymotion, it's on whatever they're hosting it on, it just starts like the audio starts separating from the video. Like I watched 3 full episodes where the audio is like 1.5 second or 2 seconds ahead of the video.
Yeah.
And like I thought it was my computer's problem, so I like found another version of it. Still has that problem because it's the same video. It's just whoever encoded it.
So frustrating. Doesn't so frustrating.
Yeah, so that was really annoying. But either way, I really think like if you like, Running Man's great because you can see the bond between those fixed 8 members.
Yeah.
But if you like Running Man when they bring on an idol group or bring on a separate group,
this is kind of that.
This is more of that, right? Yeah. It's not you build up kind of the bond between the two hosts, and they're really good and they're really funny, and I love their super obvious biases towards girl groups.
Yeah.
Like they're just straight
really
up
love girl groups.
Yeah, they straight up are like, fuck you guys.
Yeah, there's like some episodes like they have specials where like guy groups and girl groups will come on, and the guy groups will be like, get out of here, get out of here.
Yeah. Girl groups. It is hilarious. And like DEF CON like loves Jian from Secret.
Yeah, he always like makes like a video message. And he's like,
it's just hilarious. Like and like they have very specific like what's the word? Very specific like jokes, like inside jokes, gags with people who come out a lot. Like AOA comes out a lot.
Yeah.
Or 4 Minute I guess come out a lot. Or A-Pink comes out a lot. And like they have very specific, like their personalities shift to match certain girl groups because they're such great hosts.
Yeah.
And so, anyways,
I really recommend watching it if you can get your hands on.
Yeah, there's a blog spot or whatever that like lists like all the episodes and it like links to like each video. So like it even has like all 2015's videos, all 2014's videos, and it's like semi-organized.
You're gonna have to link me that.
But again, they're gonna link to a YouTube video that may or may not even be there anymore because it's done by like some girl in a basement that loved. Mamamoo so much, or her channel got community struck, because it's not official, so it's a little janky. I mean, it's not a little janky, it's definitely janky.
Super janks, but check it out.
Yeah, it makes me really, really appreciate the girl that subs the Genius, because it's a hard sub. There's so much. Like I don't mean it's a hard sub as compared to soft sub. I mean like
it's difficult.
It's difficult. There's a lot of technical stuff. Yeah. There's a lot of very specific wording and stuff that's very important. And like I'm pretty sure it's just one person. She does it all, and she does it all pretty damn fast. Like just a couple of days after.
Props to her.
I really thought about. Like, I wanted to like give her money because like the Genius was like the best. You've heard me say it before, and I'm going to say it again. It is the best Korean show on TV right now. The best. Better than Running Man. It's a totally different type of show.
It's
if you didn't listen to the 2 after shows ago, like it's like a game show, but it's a game show not like Wheel of Fortune. It's like more like Survivor. Except instead of physical games,
in a box.
Yeah, instead of surviving like in an island, it's like surviving in a room with friends where you got to play games that rely on how smart you are and how cunning you are. And it is so fucking good. And the season 4 just ended, which it might even be the last. It might be the last episode ever. It is so fucking good, so fucking good. It is like it has some of the best moments I've ever experienced on television. I'm including all the television. I'm not including just Korean television. I'm talking about all television. It is such an amazing game show, but it also has the Running Man thing where like the first episode I showed some of my friends, like it's so boring, and I'm like, well, you don't even know them yet, right? Once you know them, you start rooting for them.
You feel more involved.
You start figuring out their dynamics, and it's so great. And season 1 is slow. And it's because when they did the season 1, like it was a brand new thing. No one had ever done a show like this before, and so they were still testing the waters. But the games get harder, and they stop inviting like generic idols. Like they start inviting lawyers and like Mensa members and like boy geniuses. Like they start inviting real geniuses.
I have a question for you, Steven. So for people who haven't watched The Genius yet, or just kind of watched like sporadically, would you recommend to them starting from season 4 going down, or starting from season 1 coming up?
So the problem is that season 4 especially, season 4 is it's called the grand final because they take the top 3 members of season 1, season 2, and season 3 and put them all together.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna start with season 4, you just instantly ruined
You're kind of
who wins
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
I think if you're patient and you have some time, you should
Shotgun
always
1 to 4.
start with 1. Season 1 is a little bit boring, but to be honest, when I watched season 1, I didn't know that was the boring one. Like, I thought, I had heard it was the best season.
Yeah.
And so when I watched it, I never was bored. And I was like learning with these people, and I was like, you know, but it wasn't until after I saw season 2 and saw season 3, and I was like, holy shit, like, the games are so much more involved in season 3, and the people are so much smarter in season 3. But I made the mistake of one of my friends from home, I convinced her to watch it. And the problem is like, I like hedged my bets. I was like, okay, let's start with season 3 because I know season 3 is good. So she started with season 3, and the problem is there's a point in all the seasons. Well, not the first one, but there's a point in 2, 3, and 4 where the previous winner of the last season will come in as a guest. And so it's usually around episode 9 or 10. And so
Kind of ruined the...
like, it ruins who won the last season. So, like, and plus there might be random offhand comments of like who won the previous seasons, you know?
I mean, if you're a person who hates like spoilers and doesn't want to like know that, then definitely start from 1. But if you are the type of person who's just like, oh, I can just kind of watch it, like kind of willy-nilly.
Even if I know the winner is, like,
I'm just gonna enjoy it for the games and
Yeah.
kind of like the cunning.
Yeah.
Then you could pretty much just start like
I think you should start with
3.
if you
maybe.
really don't care. I think the best starting point is 3, like quality wise. If you don't care about spoilers that much, because if you watch all of 3 and then go to 4, like that's still an amazing fucking experience. But for the best of the best, you should start with season 1. If you didn't know, you know, if you like Idol's Infinite Sungkyu, the squinty eyes king himself is in
Sungkyu,
season 1, and
he gets worked.
he ain't great, but I
gets
don't mean that
worked.
as a spoiler. Like he has great moments, and he's got bad moments. But like I found like that was one of those things where like I couldn't care less about any Infinite members, but I saw that and I was like, I really started to like Sungyu.
Yeah.
I really did.
That's the thing with like any sort of Korean show. They invite like idols and like things on the show, so you kind of like develop affection
Like
for them. Yeah.
And that's why I'm always like so confused, and that's why I think a lot of people like Jimmy Fallon's YouTube stuff, because it's like he just plays games with celebrities. All celebrities are just normal people. I'm like, why isn't there a Running Man type show in America?
Like it doesn't even
that
have
would
to
be amazing.
Well, the Muppets are coming back, trying to do something like that.
Oh, really?
So we'll see if they're going to be doing the kind of game stuff, because like Muppets are kind of hard, right? Like you kind of have to do like sketches and stuff. But like,
well, they have guest
Muppets
stars
were
and they play with-
Muppets were like the original variety show in America, right?
okay.
So, but I don't think it's going to be the type of like Korean variety show. I really wish Jimmy Fallon, like the kind of stuff he does. Like
I wish there was a long form, not just we'll play random games, or like a long, like Running Man is it's a very long form because you build the bond with the core members. And yeah, there's 1 or 2 guests or sometimes 4 or 5 guests every time, but it's really about those 8 people or however many people you want. Like, I really think that would be a really cool, like you get like 4, like half of them are like known celebrities, and then half are kind of unknown people, just like how Running Man does it, right? Like half of them were completely unknown before they started Running Man. Now they're superstars, but like I think that'd be so cool, and I still don't understand why nobody in America does that.
You know, I feel like it's really difficult to, because if you're trying to get like big enough name stars, like for that kind of commitment, it's actually much more difficult than you realize, I think. True,
but I mean, the thing is, I don't mean like Brad Pitt, right? I'm not talking about S tier. Like, of course, those S tier people are not gonna bother, right?
Yeah.
But like, just like if you get a group of like B tier and a group of like D tier,
I'm sure like of all Jimmy Fallon's guests, we could find like 4 people who are willing to do it for like.
But you know, it doesn't have to be like guests. It could just be like comedians. Like it could be SNL people, right? Or former SNL people that probably aren't doing much anymore because a lot of them kind of fail.
Yeah, it's kind of like how
like that'd be so cool.
Like Whose Line Is It Anyway was such a hit in America.
Yeah.
Like they should really replicate that, but kind of put a Korean twist on it with like games instead of just sketch comedy.
So just sketches and more long form.
Yeah,
and
because essentially, Whose Line Is It Anyways? Those people were not.
Yeah,
were
they
not
weren't
well known in the
well-known
public.
before.
They were just stand-up comedians, right?
Yeah.
Like improv comedians, and then now like Wayne Brady is huge, and like
Yeah.
kind of Whose Line Is It Anyways has its own like cult following,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And every week, you just like in Korea, you invite, you got to promote your new movie. Like, yeah, okay, maybe Brad Pitt won't come, but there's a lot of people way under his level that come in and try to promote their movie. Beyond Running English, man. I don't know.
No, that's not.
They'll probably call it some dumb like, let's fight together or some stupid ass.
That was terrible.
That was dumb.
That was fucking terrible.
But yeah, so that was a really long talk about Weekly Idol and The Genius. But like, we both highly recommend you watch those two shows. I mean, I know people like We Got Married, and I know people like primarily We Got Married, but that show fucking is not good. And if you want to watch a better version of that kind of stuff,
I used to like. The only reason why I really liked We Got Married was because I liked the idols that were on it. Like, I liked FX, so I liked Victoria, and obviously Taeyeon was on it, and then Sohyun from SNSD was on it. And that was, like, pretty much the main reason I watched it.
I mean, I think that's the main reason people watch it now.
But it's counterintuitive, think about it, because, like, that's your, like, idol group, right? And you kind of have, like, some sort of attraction or bias towards them, and they're, like, getting cuddly with somebody else. Like, it just doesn't...
But okay, well, the thing is, I watched. I've said this before, I think, but I watched We Got Married like the original season, and like We Got Married, it was originally like older people. Like we're talking to like people that legitimately in Korean age were probably about to get married, but they weren't, and it wasn't just it wasn't just the newest idols, right? Yeah. Like, and it was scripted. It was definitely scripted, but it felt way less scripted. But nowadays, like I see clips, like I try to watch some of the later seasons. It's like they might as well just be reading off a script now. Yeah. Like I just don't understand how anyone even buys anything that happens in it.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like pro wrestling, right? We were talking about earlier. Like some people legitimately think pro wrestling is like, I mean, a lot of pro wrestling is real. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah, the physicality of it is
real. But like, it essentially We Got Married is like pro wrestling for me.
But I think there's a difference between good quote unquote pro wrestling, like a good show and a bad show. Like there are, some shows where like the showmanship and the cheesiness is there, but it's second to how awesome they're being or doing. Yeah, and then there are definitely some shows that are just so cheesy and like so scripted and corny that like
it's such a fine line though. Like if you go back to like pro wrestling, like The Rock and like Stone Cold Steve Austin, Undertaker, at that time it was so cheesy and so gimmicky, but like that was quote unquote the golden age of pro wrestling, right? And I feel like the golden age of We Got Married is done.
I thought it was done after the first season, but
yeah, I mean like.
To be fair, if Yubin suddenly shows up on We Got Married, maybe I'll check it out. I don't know, but like
no, because it's like before, like back in the golden age, you had like couples like the Adam couple, right?
Yeah.
The Gokuma couple, like Kuntoria. They have like nicknames for We Got Married couples that weren't even together.
Yeah, I think
right?
they still do that now. We just don't care.
No, I mean I kind of pay attention to it, and
it's not happening.
I
mean, and nowadays it's like girls that are like 21 and like guys that are 22. It's like
shouldn't really.
It doesn't really make
thinking
sense
about marriage yet, to be honest.
But anyways, people like what they like. I don't mean to shit on it too much, but I just think
it's not.
There's a better version of that, a more fun, and I think a more ingenious version. And I think Weekly Idol is that. Like they take that kind of generic interview that you could have between a person and an idol, and they kind of make it fun. And I didn't mention my favorite part, which is one of the fixed games that they play every episode is the random dance.
That's my favorite part too.
And it's fucking hilarious. Yeah. So like,
because they always like blame someone.
Yeah.
Because there's always one person that like fucks up.
And
like, then continuously.
Sometimes they try to be nice about it, and sometimes they know when to like let it go and it's hilarious, and they know when to point it out and make it hilarious.
The reason why MCs are so good is because the comedic timing is really good.
Yeah. And I mean, to explain how it works, like they'll play random parts of their newest song at first,
and like their popular songs,
and then slowly they'll add like more popular older, like
and they're
of their songs. These are their
they're
songs.
supposed to do the choreography for that section of the song.
Yeah. And it gets really hard because like they'll cut in the middle of a thing, or they'll go to this song and then a song from 3 years ago, and then a song back to
and
now.
Then, like the whole like just formation is just like totally shifted. It's a lot more. Like
it's not harder than I think it looks.
Yeah,
but
it's a lot more funny
hilarious.
when you have like a lot of members.
Yeah, the Girls' Generation was hilarious because Girls' Generation had like
8 now.
Well, I think they're still trying to figure out choreography between the 8 of them and not 9. Although that was never mentioned. But it's also they have a billion hit songs, and so like, and they're not like.
They're at a point where they have to practice hit songs before they go to on concert because it's like
because they don't remember.
They should refresh themselves.
And they really didn't remember in the show, and it was hilarious. They started saying like, okay, we have these 10 songs, right? Did you watch that one?
No, I haven't.
So they're like, we have this 10 songs. You guys are so bad, you'll never do it. So take out 3 songs, and then they still couldn't do it. So take out 5 songs. You still can't do it. All right. So every time a member fucks up, we need to put them to the side. And like at the end, like the first 3 to be eliminated were the 3 dancers.
Like Hyoyeon and
Hyoyeon, Yura, and Suyeon.
Yeah.
And like it was just hilarious because it's like like they're not like AOA where like at the time AOA was like having a show like every day and like practice were on point and they like did it easily. It's like these girls aside from the concert,
like 5-6 years ago. That they were
and they're so famous now. When's the last time they probably sat down and practiced them? Like unless it's for a concert, and I think we went to their last concert, which was more than a year ago. Anyway, so those are those 2 shows. We talked a really long time about that.
Should we just go to Flashback now?
Yeah, I really want to talk about at least Unpretty Rapstar 2 though.
Do we have time though?
I mean, we have all the time. Why is this? This is the after show. I know you're hungry.
No, the problem is the battery.
Oh, the battery's fine. We got 40 minutes.
Don't see that.
Don't blame it on the battery. Don't blame it on the battery. Tell the truth.
I'm going home sleeping after this. It's like 1 o'clock on a weekday. I have work tomorrow.
I don't.
Steven got work tomorrow.
I'll talk about Unpretty Rapstar fast because Josh didn't watch it.
No, I haven't watched it yet.
But like, I mentioned in the last after show that, I was going to talk about it, so I want to talk about it. Unpretty Rapstar 2, maybe you've seen it, maybe you haven't, but it is everything that made the first one bad and everything that made the first one hilarious and cheesy good is still the same. Like it's
naturally
like half of the show is just bitch face reaction and bitch face reaction of another girl back to the bitch face reaction.
I've seen clips of it. It's literally just the same editing.
It is, and it's still bad editing. Like they don't put. Sometimes it's just. One time I thought I accidentally muted it. But it wasn't. It was just, they had like 15 seconds of literally no sound. It was just people's faces in slow motion reacting to each other. They couldn't even put in a sound effect.
Like, doo-doo.
Yeah. They couldn't put any background music. The editing is so bad. But, like, just seeing them kind of interact with each other, seeing their kind of personalities come out, seeing Hyoyeon just fail so badly in the first episode is just... It's so cringeworthy and awful.
I've seen that one. It's so...
She couldn't remember her lyrics. She had a lip sync, and the lip sync wasn't even good. So she got like eliminated from the first challenge. So she wasn't even really in the second episode. And then of course seeing Yubin being like surprisingly good, I was like so happy.
I heard she's doing really well.
Yeah, but then also, you still watch it and you're still like, no matter what, most of these girls cannot rap, man.
Yeah.
They cannot rap at all. Like, I think the overall quality of rapping, weirdly, is less than the first season. And the first season wasn't even that good.
That's not too surprising. I think there are more idol rappers this time around.
There are, but I think one part of the reason there's more idol rappers is, they want more viewers, but I also think that... I don't think there's just that much depth in the female Korean rapping world.
I think there is depth in the Korean female rapping world, but they're not going to show up on Unpretty Rapstar.
But, I mean, do you think it's...
CL's not going to come up on Unpretty Rapstar. Like, Ellie's not gonna come up on Unpretty Rapstar.
But
Yumi
you're
Ray's
right.
not gonna come up on Unpretty Rapstar.
The already famous people aren't going to. Well, I mean, like Yubin's really famous, but they're not
famous for the rapping, isn't it?
Sure, but the thing is like I honestly don't know how good CL would even do. Like we fucking heard Dr. Pepper, not good,
not good,
really not good. I mean, I know she's got her fans out there, but really not good. But then again,
that was also in English, so I don't know.
Sure, but like how much? It's like that. It's like the Icon thing. Like how much is she great because YG is great, or YG's producers are great, or is she great? Right? Like, I don't know if she would do that much better.
Because Unpretty Rapstar, it's a different beast, right? It's like live kind of. Well, not really live,
quote,
but like
sort of, yeah. And they actually need to, at least as far as we're concerned, they need to write their own lyrics.
Yeah, rap on the spot and
like,
etc.
Maybe CL did Menboon and it was great, but like, how much is Menboon great because the song was great or were the lyrics great? Like, I don't know. Same with Ellie. Like I know she's a great underground rapper, but there are supposedly great underground rappers in Unpretty Rapstar too.
Yeah.
But
and not so great.
But they're not like Kitty B or something is supposed to be a really well-known underground rapper, but she's not great in the show. And
plus the editing is so bad you don't even know.
Yeah, they can make you think anything. Like right now the hot shit is Trudy. And Trudy definitely has a much better voice and a much better swag that none of the other girls have. But like lyrically and like even musically, I don't think her rapping is that much better than anything we've heard before. Like her voice really sounds like Yumi Ray and it really sounds distinct from the other girls. But like I'm not listening to her and I'm like, holy shit, this girl is like next level.
It's not blowing your mind. But did you ever feel that when Unpretty Rapstar won, though?
I thought sometimes when I heard Cheetah rap, I was like, damn. And like, even though as much as we bashed on Jessie, like her bravado and her level
her delivery is kind of
still a whole different beast. Like I think Trudy is definitely the best. Like I don't think I best out of that. But like her part in the first release, the Don't Stop release, the one shot collaboration release, I didn't think her part was that good. Her song featuring Verbal Gent and Cheetah,
pretty good.
I thought it was not bad. We were gonna talk about it in my section, but we thought we were gonna delay it till here. Like that's my favorite of the 3 songs that's been released so far. But like, do I like it more than Puss? No. Do I like it more than My Type? No. Do I like it more, at least for me, Superstar featuring Kisum? No. But like
not
it's a fight. You agreed with me on the other two, right? So it's like, I don't. So far, the songs have been kind of lackluster. The Hazy song with Jessie and Sung is hot garbage, as Josh would say.
Bad.
It's really not good.
Fucking garbage.
And like I don't know why, but like because they show the instrumental to the girls, as part of the preparation, the challenge, and like the instrumental for the Hazy song is really good.
And then something happened.
And then he changed it. Like he changed Sung's part. He added this weird. Either he added this weird chorusy dubstep part, or just in the show they never got to that part yet, so they didn't play it yet. I don't know.
It's really bad.
It's really not good. I don't know what the fuck Verbal Gent was thinking, but am I gonna?
Verbal Gent produces both of them.
You've produced both of them, yeah. But definitely the Trudy one. I don't. It's got a Korean name. I don't actually know what the English name is.
음악이 아니었다면. It kind of translates to like. If it's not music, or if you don't say it's music, kind of like feeling. I
mean, you can look up Unpretty Rapstar 2, or you can Google Trudy with Cheetah Verbal Gent. But like, I think that's one. I'm gonna download that song for real. But good. I think the best part of that song is Cheetah and Verbal Gent. Verbal Gent sings, and for some reason that works. Like
when I was like, oh, who is this? You're like, it's Verbal Gent. I was like, Verbal Gent singing? He's like, yeah, Verbal Gent singing.
Yeah, I was like, why do they need 3 rappers, right? But Verbal Gent was like,
I ain't gonna rap, I'm gonna sing.
I'm gonna sing, motherfuckers, and it works out decently well. But But am I gonna stop watching this? Like, this is
Probably
the complete opposite of Weekly Idol and The Genius. But
It's just something so like.
But
guilty.
it's so it's a guilty.
Pleasure.
It's like when I used to watch trashy McTrash MTV shows.
Yeah, like
and I used to watch Flavor Love.
Love that show, Flavor.
What was that bisexual girl?
Tequila.
Tequila. I would watch that show. I used to watch Real World because it was just the dumbest shit possible. But I knew the thing is I knew it was dumb shit. I've met people that don't think it's dumb shit, and they love it like it's like real TV, and that blows my mind. It's like people who used to watch Laguna Beach or what all those or even of Keeping the Kardashians. Like, I understand a lot of people love that show, but like some people legitimately like that show. Some of our listeners, I don't know if that's you, I'm sorry, but like if you know,
why?
If you don't recognize that it's bad TV,
like trash TV,
like you can still enjoy it, that's fine. But if you don't recognize it's bad TV, like I don't know what's wrong with you guys. All right, let's just quickly go to the flashback since I don't want to skip it since we hyped it a little bit.
Yeah, there are a lot of good songs from 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Should we just go through the list? I feel like all these songs are fire.
Yeah, let's just go through one by one.
Yeah.
The first one we talked about that episode, which is episode 67, by the way, if you want to go listen to that podcast.
Yeah.
But in 67, first one we talked about my favorite song, or one of our favorite songs, I don't even know whose, was Pretty Brown featuring Kanto. I feel like that was my choice.
I don't know, actually. There's a lot of good songs in there.
Yeah, we used to alternate. But anyways, it's called Breakup with Breakup. And like this song like has been creeping up on my iPod since 6 months ago.
So good.
Still fucking good.
So good.
You probably still haven't heard it if you didn't hear it from that episode.
Listen to it. So good. Oh, Kanto he's from Phantom.
Yeah.
He's a rapper.
He's a rapper. Pretty Brown
not
is
Sanchez.
He's not Sanchez. Pretty Brown is, I don't even know Pretty. I think they're hip-hop duo. An R&B duo.
Yeah.
But like the singing with the Kanto voice, like Kanto's voice always surprised me.
It's
that
like
deep, good
chocolate. He's got that rapper voice. Yeah.
You don't look like him, but he got it.
And then we got Girls' Generation, Catch Me If You Can. That song.
Didn't really like it when it first came out.
Fizzle in the pan.
Still don't like it now.
Fizzle in the pan.
Still think it's bad. I'm so happy that we now at least have like songs that I like to kind of make me happy about Girls' Generation again. Because there was a point in time where like every Girls' Generation song I was like
very dark,
face palming because I just really didn't like it.
All right, next song.
The next one, EXO, Call Me Baby. I mean,
I like that song. I still do like it.
I liked it before. I still enjoy it, but I don't think the legs are there for me. Like it'll still come out and I'll still like be like, oh yeah, this was kind of a good song. But 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna skip it. Cause like I think I've heard it so many goddamn times. But I mean, do you still listen to it if it came up? Is it even on your playlist? Because I know you filter things out.
Well, my iPod is broken, so I have to like manually put everything on my phone. So only the freshest of fresh is on my phone.
It's on your phone. So Call Me Baby also hasn't. But
but the next song is Mamamoo featuring Esna with Au.
Yes, and earlier in the main episode we were talking about Mamamoo, right? We're talking about the bottom kind of tier Mamamoo.
This is the bottom.
This is kind of on the bottom tier, but
it's not.
This song has grown on me a lot since 6 months ago.
It has, but mainly the reason I think why we didn't like it in the first place was Esna.
It just wasn't. It wasn't that she was bad. It was just that like
It didn't fit.
But the thing is, I think this song is technically an Esna song.
Yeah.
And so maybe we just didn't wrap our heads around that.
Yeah. But it's like how when we used to talk about boa. Like boa is Korean, obviously, but we'd hear like Japanese boa songs first, and when we hear the Korean one, it's kind of like, oh, what is this weird? But the Korean one probably came out first, right?
Maybe.
It's kind of like this whole deal. It's like whatever you heard first, I guess.
Like we expected Mamamoo first, and it was kind of. I mean, it's not. Again, there are much worse songs in the world than Aho, but don't be happy at Peppermint Chocolate. Still great. The next one, of course, is JYP featuring Jessie. Who's Your Mama?
We just talked about.
Dude, there were so many of these songs. But we did not look at this list until after recording the main episode.
Yeah.
But like this song, still hilarious every time I listen to it. I picture the music video. I picture that girl's butt, and I'm like, yeah. Damn! So fun. way better than I'm So Sexy, but I'm So Sexy is still fun. So sexy. Like some of my kids and them just randomly would just be like, if they do something dumb, they'll just be like, I'm so sexy. And I'm like,
So some of my boys, so we had like a festival. Some of my boys like did a dance for it, and they did a really good job.
This is perfect for like hilarious dancing, right? Where like it's obviously you're making a joke, but this is perfect for that.
Yeah. All right. So the next song is also JYP's Miss A Only You. This song, when I first heard it, we thought it was really short and kind of like non-substantial. Yeah. But it really grew on me.
Also,
with time.
also grew on me. Still not a song that I'm gonna actively search out.
Yeah, it's not one of my top songs of 2015, but
when it does come up, I'm like, oh yeah. No, I remember this. I go, and then a little emptiness. I don't remember that.
Screaming guy.
I don't remember that. If you did watch the main episode, you may remember me saying something about there's a Block B, and it was a music video. It was in a house, and it was really good. Turns out in episode 67, and that was by Tail, with his song "Inspiring."
Yeah, like when I heard the song, I recognized it immediately because I think both me and you, we really liked the song.
Yeah, I think we really liked it. We didn't have that much to say about it, but we were like, damn, like surprisingly good ballad kind of with a beat.
Yeah, and like Block B, surprising. They put out songs that we like. I think more so as individuals than.
But the thing is, I like this song does pop up on my iPod, and I do like this song. Like when the song came out, we were both singing to it. I did not know who sang it. I did not know what it was called. But now I know. Tail.
Yeah, and then we also talked about the arc, the light.
This we mea culpa. I think a lot of times we were like, at first we were like, meh song. The MV was sad as fuck, right?
Yeah.
But since then, I think I've said many times, I'm like, I really like this song.
Yeah, it's good, and like a lot of people kind of, I think, don't agree with us on this fact.
Really?
But yeah, because I mean. A lot of, I think, people who are in the Sonamu camp.
Are there people in that camp?
Yeah, there are, surprisingly.
I don't know why.
And basically they were like, well, the arc is just basically Sonamu. Why don't you like Sonamu? And they're different.
They're the better, proper version. But also, to be fair to Sonamu, I do enjoy the Cushion song way more than when I first talked about it. Way more. And then the rest, it was like kind of lightning round, but I find it really funny that we lightning round Jimin's puss. Yeah. Like, I don't know why. Like, as much as I love Pretty Brown featuring Kanto, why the fuck didn't we pick Jimin's puss?
I think I realized why. Because at that time, like, it didn't have a music video. And we weren't really talking about songs without music videos.
Maybe.
And then I think we both really liked the song and we didn't really add it to the podcast. But then we're like, no, this song's so good. We have to talk about it in the next one. And I think that's what happened.
Now that I think about it, we're nearing the end of the year, which is fucking crazy. Because I feel like we just did the best of 2014 podcast. Right?
Yeah, you're right.
But like in 3 months, it's almost October, right? In 3 months, we'll be doing best of 2015, which is my favorite podcast of the year because it's just nonstop hot fire, hot fire, hot fire, hot fire, hot fire, hot fire, hot fire. Like,
is this hot fire for you?
Yeah, it's like almost
my third hot fire.
And every once in a while, it's like Hyona's red, and you're like, the fuck? But whatever. Like, Jimin's Puss probably will not be. 4-Minute Only Game Wait is the best song of 2014, hands fucking down. I still listen to that song.
I can't remember what I said is the best song of 2014. Was it
trying to think.
200%? Was it 200%?
Maybe. Here, is it top 10?
Yeah, I think so.
Let me see.
I want to say it's Actung Musicians 200%. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Wait, is this the official list? Is this your official list?
I don't know.
It looks weird.
Yeah.
It looks confusing. It might be though. It might be. I still wish they came out this year with another song at least, but they've been kind of
hiatus.
AFK. Maybe it's episode 62, and I wrote it all. No. Ooh, here's that Hell of Venus. Maybe it's 61. No, it's December 18th. Did we do that early?
Yeah.
Oh, it is. It is this, but we didn't write down the thing.
Yeah, that's weird.
Anyways, so I really look forward to that. And Puss, while it may not be top 10, it's going to be an honorable mention. It is 1,000% going to be at least honorable mention. All right. I guess what else did we lightning around? I mean, there was
surprisingly this primary "See You" song that's on the album that I was talking about like maybe a month or so ago that I was really big into. It came out like 6 months ago actually.
Yeah.
And you kind of just put it on compilation albums. Kind of what primary does.
And that's what all K-pop artists do.
Yeah.
They release like 4 singles 2 years apart, and then they're like, "We're back with an album," and it's like 2 new songs and 4 old ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, let me think what else is here. There's Zion T, Zero Gravity. I don't think we've really heard that. I don't like it. Jimin Park, Hopeless Love.
That's a good song, but it didn't really grow on me as much as I thought it would be.
Yeah, and Gray featuring Loco, Just Do It.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that song is.
Da-na-na-na.
Oh, da-na-na-na.
Yeah.
Shout it out, eh?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, I do listen to that song now, actually.
Do, 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 do.
Yeah. Do. Oh yeah, that song's not bad actually.
Yeah, I remember you didn't really like it as much as I did when it first came out.
Yeah. So I think the moral of the story, at least for this version of Flashback, is like,
give songs a chance.
Like yeah, we need to give songs more of a chance. But
give songs
that's
more
why
of a
this
chance.
Flashback is here. Like we wanted to kind of tell you guys how much maybe we've changed or how much you've changed. Maybe you're listening, you're like, holy shit, like 6 months ago there was these songs and now I don't even listen to them anymore, or now I love these songs, they're my favorite. Like that's what this section is for. So yeah, that's a little long, but I think that will be it for the after show for episode 77. Again, if you
clap.
I didn't tell you, but I was hoping we could also have a section where like we can answer any questions.
Oh, a Q&A.
That viewers have, and
yeah, maybe we'll do an Ask Q&A.
yeah, like it doesn't have to be every after show because to be honest, not that many people write to us or leave YouTube comments.
We'll just gather up all your questions.
Yeah, if we ever get a significant enough amount, we might do it. But I really do want, if you have any questions, whether it be about K-pop, whether
anything,
it be
our
about
personal
anything,
lives,
about favorite movies, maybe not our personal lives, but what I'd mentioned my girlfriend and Pat, now ex-girlfriend, more times than you have yours.
Well,
she's not ex though.
I think I mentioned my girlfriend in the last Ask.
Yeah, 1 year later.
I don't know. It doesn't.
Personal life.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
It's alright, buddy. It's alright.
But yeah, so if you have any, if you want to know just anything, whether it's K-pop related or a total, like maybe you want a book recommendation or a movie recommendation or a
I recently saw The
TV
Intern.
recommendation. The Intern.
Yeah, it's with Anne Hathaway and Robert De Niro.
Oh, I have zero interest in that bullshit. That's not my kind of movie. You know what movie I am interested in? The Martian.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Matt Damon.
So fucking excited.
That's for another
Baby.
time. That's for another time.
Yeah, maybe we'll talk about that next after show. But yeah, so of course hit us up on Twitter at Twix Steven, at Twix Josh, or at This Week in K-Pop. Email at thisweekinkpop@gmail.com. And check out our sponsors. Check out Audible. Check out Drama Fever. Yeah. Peace outside. West side.
You from the South.
South side. Shit, that's down. Welcome, my chingus, to episode 77 of This Week in K-Pop. In this episode, we will talk about Dia, Fairy and Crispy Crunch, GOT7, Icon, Jussie, Mamamoo, New D, Park Kyung, Soyu and Kwang Jolyol, and Zappa. My name is Steven, and with me is my lovely, lovely co-host, Josh.
Hello.
He's back wearing his hat again.
Yeah, I felt so naked last time. I wasn't wearing a hat, I think. Or
I
was it?
mean, you look naked.
Yeah, what? That wasn't what you meant.
Sorry, I meant you look ugly. I'm sorry, I messed up the word.
I think you missed Park Boram thing.
Well, it was featuring Park Boram. Is it featuring or is it?
I mean, they're pretty much duetting.
Yeah, but we talked about this last episode of like, what does featuring even mean in Korea anymore?
X,
Um,
Pete, FT.
Yeah, but we'll mention